Today we are going to be finishing our Wayne Thiebaud inspired gumball machines. We are going to glue all of the gumballs inside the gumball machine. We are going to cut out the gumball machine, add a piece of plastic to make it look a little bit more realistic, and glue it onto a nice background piece of paper. Once you have all of your gumballs with highlights and shadows, what I want you to do is we're going to cut out our gumball machine first. Making sure that I'm done with the oil pastel on this part. And I'm just going to carefully and slowly cut it out. And notice how I am not cutting out that black outline. We want to keep that black outline in there. If you cut it just a little bit, that's okay. But I do want to keep that and go slowly around here. Put these in the recycling. Now I am ready to start gluing all of my gumballs. Now when I'm gluing my gumballs, it doesn't matter in what direction you glue them. The light, wherever our gumball machine is, there's not just one light source coming from one direction, but it's kind of coming from all over. So it doesn't matter where you glue your highlight or your shadow for your gumball. Now we do want to make sure we put colors all over, kind of balance them out. And I'm just going to start at the bottom, and when you're putting on glue, you do not need a lot of glue. Hold it down for a couple seconds and get another color. Notice again how I'm overlapping. This will make it look more realistic. Not too much glue. Especially at the bottom, you want to make sure that there's lots of overlapping, as the gumballs would all gravitate towards the bottom. And we aren't going to fill it all the way up. We don't have enough gumballs for that, but we're going to go probably about halfway up. So I want you to start at the bottom and work your way up. Don't just do one side, but make sure you're doing both sides. Do the bottom first and then slowly work your way up, adding more and more gumballs. Go ahead and cover that silver part. And if you notice that some of them are kind of popping up a little bit, you can always go and hold them down. Notice how I can kind of put some underneath, some on top. Spreading out all the colors. Try not to put two of any color right next to each other. And some I don't need to overlap too much, just a little bit. But I don't want to have it go off of the gumball machine on the side. So I am covering that blue one up quite a bit, but that's okay. That's how it would be in a real gumball machine. Can't see all of the gumballs. And with 7 gumballs of each color, you are getting pretty high, which is great. And just keep going until you run out of gumballs. Now I actually think that this looks like enough. I'm going to add maybe one more. Right in that spot. But I think that looks like enough. Maybe a friend wants to use my last few, or I can just recycle them. Once you have all of your gumballs glued, you're going to get a piece of plastic and we're going to just staple it right on there. So I will come around with a stapler. I'm just going to staple it around the edges just a couple of times. We're not going to glue it, as you'd be able to see the glue through the plastic. And we are almost done. But next we are going to, and finally we are going to glue it to a nice background piece of paper. Now I'm going to flip over my gumball machine, and I don't want to lay it on the blue paper, as the oil pastel might smear on that blue paper. But I am going to go ahead and I'm going to outline. Notice how I'm not going very close to the edge, but I'm doing a nice outline of my gumball machine, and then maybe just kind of a wavy line on the inside. We are gluing paper to paper, so we do not need a lot of glue. Now when I'm flipping this over, I want to make sure that it's centered, it fits on there, and I'm going to hold it in place maybe for about 10 seconds, making sure that it's nice and stuck. And finally, sign the bottom. As you are the artist. We want everyone to know who made these beautiful gumball machines. And now we are done with our gumball machine.